Democratic strategist and Fox News contributor, and my friend Joe Trippi. All right, Joe. Am I wrong?
Good to be with you, Judge. Always great to come on right after one of your opens.
Listen, why can't she tell the truth? Come on, Joe.
Well, look, she's going to be asked about all these things over the next, well, at least through the Democratic primary and then in the general election if she is the nominee. And she's going to have, Darrell Issa and Gowdy will have hearings and ask her all the questions about the emails and the server. All these things are going to be. And look, Republicans are going to attack her with every single thing that you threw out.
But they
in your
don't have
opening.
to. You know why? Joe, they don't have to. She said it to the everyday Americans. Nobody even asked her the question.
Well, right now, everyday America. Look, she's still doing quite well on the polls. I mean, she is. I mean, I don't see, at least yet, any within the Democratic primary, anybody yet emerging to take her on and challenge her there. So, you know, we need to see who emerges out of the Republican Party. There will be a general election. It won't be a cakewalk for anybody or a coronation for either Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton if both of them get the nomination.
You know, Joe, I'm sure that you saw what we all saw, and that was her Scooby van scooting by these senior citizens, people in wheelchairs, waiting to see her at the entrance, you know, to this everyday American that she wants to talk to. She blows by them, and later that day, actually, her van, Scooby van, parks in a handicap spot. This woman should be better than that.
Well, certainly the handicap spot they should have done was ridiculous. But the point still is, look, all these announcement tours are, you know, you look at Ted Cruz, goes to Liberty University where it's a forced attendance convocation. Many in the crowd were Rand Paul supporters, but he gets to go out there and look presidential with a massive crowd. She chose to have a small, intimate discussion with people about jobs and education.
Joe,
that's what she wanted to project.
Joe, you know you opened the door on that one. She chose to speak to a smaller crowd that they interviewed, they rehearsed, and they drove to the event while they blew by the senior citizens in the wheelchairs.
Yes, and I'm sure Ted Cruz practiced over and over in front of a mirror before he walked out of Liberty University. It's what a president. This is how you know. I'm sorry, but if people think there is not a facade to all these presidential campaigns and their events, and that she's the only one that's doing this, that's just not reality.
Joe, two issues. Number one, you know, she just comes out with things that aren't true, and that should be a bother for the, you know, the commander-in-chief, the wannabe commander-in-chief. But do you think that it's almost like Americans don't expect honesty from politicians?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think, you know, I keep hearing people talk about, oh, they don't think Hillary Clinton's honest or trustworthy. Name a politician in either party that people think, that's running for president in particular, that people think is honest and trustworthy.
Well,
they don't trust the politicians. They don't trust Washington. No, that's why half of the senators that are running away from, Senator Rand Paul doesn't use the term senator anymore. He's now Dr. Rand Paul. I'm not getting into his trustworthiness. That's on my point. But why? Because he knows there's an inherent distrust of anything that says Washington or politician.
All right. Given the fact, and we're coming up against a break now, but given the fact that she's wanted to talk to everyday Americans and kind of keep the press out of it, you know, making them chase her Scooby van. By the way, do you know why it's called a Scooby van?
Yeah, the press looked ridiculous.
Yeah, the press is ridiculous. She's ridiculous. She didn't go to the entrance she was supposed to go to. But why are they calling it a Scooby van?
No idea. Do you know?
No, I have no idea. I guess the last question that I want to ask you is, given that it hasn't worked so well, Joe, with everyday Americans that she picked, maybe she ought to stand in front of, you know, crowds and take questions. She's a smart woman, right?
I absolutely think that you're going to see her, you know, doing town halls, a lot of you know, with real people, going throughout Iowa. I think she has to do that. She has to show that she wants this and that she's ready to fight for it.
That's right, and that you know, she's not going to be coronated. Joe Trippi, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to be with you, Judge.
All right, and the race for the 2016.